What is going on, YouTube people? Today we are going to talk about the toughest decision in really any collectibles. I don't care if you're in sports cards, comic books, non-sports cards, TCG, sealed. It really doesn't matter. If you are transacting in things, the toughest decision that you have to make whenever you deal with this nonsense, it's not when to buy. Buying is one of the simplest decisions that you ever make. Product comes up, you know in your heart of hearts that it's a good price. You pull the trigger on it, you buy it, you get it in, you put it in your case, you put it on your shelf, whatever it is that you're doing with it, you do with it. That part's easy. You go on, you click buy it now, you bid on the auction, you go to the show, whatever. Where the rubber meets the road, real the hard part is when do you sell it? Especially right now in sealed TCGs, whether it's Pokemon, some Magic stuff, One Piece, whatever, but Pokemon specifically, when everything is going to the moon, when do you get off the rocket ship? And the hard part is you don't know when you actually got to the moon. Only a handful of people get to sell at the top and buy at the bottom. Every once in a while, you'll get super lucky. Maybe the stars align and you get to pull that off. But generally speaking, you're probably going to sell a little too early, or you're probably going to sell way too late, or maybe a little late. Very few people get to have maximum value on something. And right now, it's rainbows and kittens. It is great. Stuff's going to the moon. Why would I ever sell? Everything keeps going up. Until it doesn't. At some point in time, things will slow down. Prices may retract, they may flatten, they may slowly dip, they may stagnate. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I don't care which influencer you watch, which YouTube channel, which Instagram, whatever. Nobody knows. We can make educated guesses. We can make assumptions based off of history, based off of what each individual person is seeing or feeling in the market, and they might be right more often than not. They might have a good hunch on it, but nobody knows for sure. So you have to do what is in your own personal best interest. You know, you'll see videos out there, you should not sell anything, hold everything forever, or videos out there that says you should sell everything. That's great, and I'm sure that they all have good advice. The problem is nobody knows your situation. Maybe you're running out of space. Maybe you have bills to pay. Maybe you got a kid that needs car insurance. Maybe you need maybe you have credit card debt built up that you could pay off. Nobody knows that's making a video. So when to sell is a very personal decision. And the point of this video isn't to tell you to go sell or not to sell. It's to make you reevaluate your own situation on what you're in and rethink things in doing what is best for you. If you don't need the money right now, maybe you're living debt free, you can afford, you don't have any bills, you don't have any life problems, you could sit back and relax and let this cardboard continue to grow in value. Maybe you have credit card debt. Maybe you have stuff going on. It never hurts to let some of this stuff trickle out. You know, this is, I'll be honest, this is a decision process that I am working through right now. On the screen, I have a small snapshot of some of the inventory that I have picked up over the years and what it is currently at. And I am not, I've said in previous videos, listen, I'm not some Rudy from Alpha Investments. I don't have pallets of this stuff getting dropped off at my house. I feel like I am your above average sealed hoarder. I buy a case when stuff comes out. If a good deal pops up, I'll snatch it up. If I go to a show and I see a good price on a booster box, I'll grab a loose one. That's kind of where I'm at. I've spent about 10 grand in sealed Pokemon out of pocket. And right now I'm up almost double, give or take. And I filter through and I look at this and I just put this by value. So Paldea Evolved goes to number 1 because I own more of that than anything else. But let's look at Lost Origins, for example. That was one of the first booster boxes that I bought when I started doing this in late 2022. I got 4 of them for $85 a pop. Wish I would have bought more. Obviously, I'm happy that I got 4. They're currently sitting at $378. I'm up 344% before fees and on paper on my purchase price of $85 times 4. So I'm into those 3 boxes for basically what a box goes for. I paid $340 for 4 boxes. A single box is doing $380. So that's 1.5K right now in current value. Do I need to sell that? No, I don't need the money. My wife and I have next to no debt, no bills. So I don't necessarily need the money. I don't need to free up capital to go buy new stuff. Journey Together comes out, assuming I could get a booster box case at reasonable rates. I could just buy one. I don't have to sell to buy right now. I might, but I don't technically have to. So I'm coming at this, and my whole reason I started doing this, stashing sealed, was long-term. But when things go parabolic like this, when things go crazy, sometimes you have to reevaluate your plan. If Lost Origins gets to $1,000 a box, at that point in time, I have over 10x'd my investment. We buy this stuff to sit on it and sell it for huge profits later in life. I don't think anyone thought these numbers would get this high this fast, but here we sit. And even though I said when I bought this, oh yeah, I'll stick it in the closet and forget about it for 5 or 10 years or whatever, this is probably where I thought it was going to go in 5 years. And now we're not even 3 years in, and I'm already at those numbers. And I didn't map out anything on what I thought it would be worth in exactly 5 years or anything crazy like that. I don't take it that serious. But in times like this, I think you do need to reevaluate. Because if things do slow down, even if prices stagnate, let's just say everything flattens, the market cools a little bit, but still basically goes back to how it was, but everything levels off at these new values. Selling in a market like this is easy. It is so easy to sell right now. You could get 85%, 90%, 95% on sealed wax probably if you try to move most of your stuff. And you're going to have people fighting, climbing over each other to try to buy from you. You have all the power in a selling situation right now on sealed specifically. If the market cools, even if the values, let's say it gets to 400 and flattens and the market goes back to the way that it was, and the going rate for a Lost Origins box might be $400. If things slow down a little bit, it's going to be a little bit harder to sell. It might take you a little bit more time to liquidate. And that's honestly one of the biggest problems in investing in all this stuff is the time to liquidation. If I needed to free this up in a normal market and sell it, say I needed this 20 grand back, which is about what it's worth right now. And let's say I really needed that money. Something happened and I needed that cash. In a normal market, that's going to be tough to do. I'd probably have to sell it in a lot. Probably have to sell it at like 70% to move off of all of it in one kit and caboodle. In this market, that's not the case. And I'm not saying sell all your stuff. I'm not saying that by any means at all. The other thing that happens too is as these boxes creep up, they also just get harder to sell because, spoilers, there is not as many buyers for $1,000 booster boxes, even $500 booster boxes, as there is for $100 booster boxes or $150 booster boxes. You start limiting your buyer pool, the more expensive these things get. What I typically like to do, and what I am starting to map out now that these things are soaring up, is split the difference. I like to go with the sell some, hold some. So let's say Lost Origins went to $1,000 a box. It just goes crazy. I honestly, out of the 4 that I have, I would probably let 2 go. Take the massive win on that, and then I still have 2 more that I can roll down the road and see what happens. Because that's the problem. Everyone's scared about what it could go to. Pay attention to what it goes for right now. Not everything goes up forever. And let's not forget, you never go broke taking a profit. And right now, profits are at an all-time high. If you're sitting on inventory that you bought, especially if you're not chasing the current prices on stuff, but you've been doing this for a while, you could sell probably a fraction of your inventory and basically free roll the next handful of releases. Let's assume full MSRP for Journey It Together. Let's assume that. That might happen, that might not. I think it ends up settling in around full MSRP. That's what, like $1,200 for a case, give or take? $1,100 for a case? I don't even know. What does that math out to be? Let's call it, what would that be? $175 a box with shipping and taxes if you ordered from Pokemon Center? Just over $1,000. Let's call it $1,100 just for the sake of argument. Well, with tax. With tax for Pokemon Center, it probably would be closer to $1,100 or $1,200. Fact that I could sell a couple boxes of Lost Origins that I'm into for $85 and almost free roll a case of Journey Together, sell 2 booster boxes, and buy a case of the new thing, it's pretty appealing. That is pretty appealing. Even if I don't necessarily need the money. I can afford to buy a case of Journey Together if I want to. But if I can free roll it from existing inventory, I mean, isn't that why we kind of all started to do this? And like I said, I had 5, 10 year, I'm going to hold it forever. At some point in time, forever is not forever. And right now, in as hot of a market as it is, like I said earlier, this is not me saying go sell everything that you own. This is me saying sit back, evaluate your situation and what you want to do going forward, and then make decisions based off of that, not off of what someone sitting behind a microphone tells you to do or not do. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.